Hello and welcome back in my reading corner. No, it's not my reading corner. So today I want to try, if it works, if it's nice, to film in front of my TBR shelf. Seeing as this video is announcing my September TBR, I find it fitting to film in front of my TBR shelf. So yes, all of the books on the shelf are still on my TBR, they still want to be read. I picked a few of them to tackle in September. So if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Cece and I do mostly bookish subscription box unboxings. Sometimes I unbox things that are not bookish, and I sometimes do stuff that are just common in the booktube community, like wrap-ups and TBRs and this kind of stuff. Let's get into the TBR for September right away. So I always do my TBR on a little sheet like so, and I cluster it by read-alongs and like book clubs and these kind of things where I want to read the same book as others are doing. Then I have my NetGalley, and then I have a few other picks. As a general, I always pick a way too ambitious TBR. I love having an ambitious TBR and having like trying to work to actually achieve it. Since I've been doing really ambitious TBRs, I really tend to read a lot more than I did before. But still, I am often kind of disappointed when I can't finish it. But I just can't choose less. So I have tried to restricting myself to choosing 18 books. So yeah, we have 18 books. All right, let's get into the read-alongs, book clubs, etc. first. So the first book I want to be reading in September is Seafire. It is the Booksplosion book of the month, and it is about sisterhood and pirates, and I don't know much more, but I'm excited because sisterhood and pirates is something that I haven't read a lot combined. So like a pirate crew of females, I want to see how that goes. The second book I want to read in September is the Book in a Jar book, and that is The Last Namsara. I honestly don't know much about it except for it involving, it has dragons, and I haven't read a book that has dragons in it in quite some time. And seeing as I love fantasy books, let's get some dragons going. For my NetGalley picks of the month, I still have to finish two books that I've been putting off, and that is Hot Mess and How Hard Can It Be. Both books are pretty straightforward chick lit. One is about like the momsy type of chick lit, and the other one, Hot Mess, is about like, I think a 20-something woman who falls for like a former drug addict, celebrity chef type of thing. And it's just, it just sounds like straight up chick lit that I love to, I just enjoy it in between of like high fantasy and stuff to just get, like, I call it like a palette cleanser for me. So I've been putting them off because there were so many amazing fantasy books and contemporary books that I really want to get to, and I was not really in the mood for chick lit, and I wanted to give them like a fair shot and not like downrate them because I simply wasn't in the mood for it. But I do have to get to them, so they are on my TBR. They have been on my TBR like all the other months as well, but I really have to get to them this month. The next book I'm reading, or I'm going to be attempt to read in September, is the Bane Chronicles. I want to reread or read. Why am I saying reread? I have never read this before. I'm saying it because a lot of people are rereading it in time for the release in December, and I have joined the Emma Books read along, and I am so behind. I need to get cracking, and this is what needs to be read as part of the read along, and I later have two more that I just need to catch up on. The next read along I'm doing is a Throne of Glass read along, and for this I need to read Empire of Storms. I believe that the official book of the month would already be Tower of Dawn. Again, I'm behind. I didn't get to it during my nudes, and I really thought I would. It's okay. I think from a schedule, I will read this in September, and then I will read Tower of Dawn in October, and then by the end of the month, Kingdom of Ash is released, and I am looking forward to reading that in November. Can't tell you much about it because I have no idea how to talk to you about what this book is about without spoilers. I just don't know. And the next book that I want to get to, and this is one of the first like free picks, if you want to say so, is Reaper at the Gates. I have been putting it off because I wasn't getting to the books that I really wanted to read, and I haven't been reading enough during the last couple of months due to like my work being a lot. But now that I have more time to read again, I need to get to it. I was anticipating this so much, and it's simply unbelievable that I haven't started reading it yet. It's the third in the Ember of Ashes quartet, and I just fell in love with this series like so much, and I've been counting down the days to the release date. I don't want to hear anything about this book. I want to go into this blind. I need to catch up on where we were. I can't reread the books. I just have to read a synopsis or something, and I just want to dive into it. I enjoyed the book so much, and I have anticipated it so much. I need to get into this world again. I need to stop talking about it and start reading. The next book I want to read is Notes from My Captivity. This is actually the book of the month of the Once Upon a Book Club box that I always tend to read right away, or I'm trying to read it right away, because opening up the gifts inside this book box is depending on the page that I'm getting to. So there's like these little post-its in here. So there are post-its in here, and when I get to this page, I can open up my gifts from the box, and I just want to open them up so badly, so I need to get to this page, and this is why I'm trying to read them right away. So I'm going to tell you what Once Upon a Book Club told me about this book, or told everybody about this book pick. A powerful and eerie read that follows the adventures of one aspiring journalist and what can happen when she loses her guides in the Siberian wilderness, knowing that danger lurks around every corner and the missing family they were searching for takes her hostage. A bold story filled with family, hope, love, survival, forgiveness, and the harsh elements of nature. This is a book you simply will not be able to put down. Experience the beauty of the undiscovered world in northern Russia through the captivating and unique story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It sounds very different to what I've been reading lately, and I'm up for it. I'm up for some change and some just something a little bit different in between. So really looking forward to getting to this one. The next book that I want to get to is The City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I have seen this book on BookTube and Bookstagram like popping up everywhere, and it's actually the book of the month for one of my Facebook book clubs, and it is the book of the month, or like 2 months of the Biblio book club, so I really wanted to get to it. The plot sounds a lot like a middle grade version, because it's a middle grade book, of the show The Ghost Whisperer, which I loved watching. So basically this girl can see ghosts, and she's going to Scotland because her parents, I think, are ghost hunters or something, and they're going to Scotland for like a new TV show, and there's like a lot of ghosts there, and she meets another girl who can also see ghosts, and she actually tells them that like their job, as I think they're called in-betweeners, is to help the ghosts pass over to the other side. I don't know what they're calling it. Yeah, and it's a middle grade book, so I'm really intrigued to have like this ghosty, spooky and eerie plot line of being able to see ghosts as a middle grade book, how that turns out. And it's Victoria Schwab. So, and the next book that I want to read is somewhat of a last minute edition. When I heard Murphy announcing the Loosely Round Book Club, I'm not sure if that's actually what it's called, I did have to look at what they're reading this month, and I was intrigued. I didn't really want to add it at first, but when I read the synopsis, I was intrigued. It's really hard to give the synopsis without having read the book, because I feel like it can go a lot of different ways. All I understood is that it's like a dystopian world where everybody, like everything has been covered with water, except for some areas, and it's like an old Navajo reservoir that is coming back to life, and there's a lot of supernatural elements, there's monsters, universe on Earth now, and I just love that this is like American Indian history, and it has like a dystopian, it has an urban fantasy element, supernatural elements, and all this combined just intrigued me so much that I have to get this book on my hands and I have to read it this month. The next book I want to read in September, I want to read as part of the format that I do that is called Booktubers Recommend. I have asked several booktubers to recommend me a book to read, and I've been reading this year a book every month that has been recommended to me. And this has been recommended to me by G over at Book Roast. I think it's one of her favorite, and she told me that she loved it especially because it got her out of a 5-year reading slump. So I really wanted to get to it. I was just a little bit scared of the amount of pages. It's like over 600 pages, and with the amount of books that I always have on my TBR, these big books are just a killer to get through them. But I have to tackle this at one point, and I really want to get to it. So The Name of the Wind is the first, I think, of a trilogy, and we're following this young man who is really magically gifted, and I think he grows up to be like this really notorious wizard, and we just follow him throughout his childhood. There's like a magical academy, like a prestigious magical academy involved, and I am a sucker for anything that's like school, boarding school type of setting, especially in a magic world. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I have heard so much praise for this. I can't wait. So finally getting to this month, because booktubers recommend, I always finish these, so I'm getting to this. The Once Upon a Read-Along picked Eliza and Her Monsters as this month's book of the month, and I'm really excited to get through this one as well. I had that on my wish list for quite some time because so many people are raving about it. What I know about this is basically that Eliza is the creator of this webcomic. She is like really successful with it, and one of the people who are really a fan of the webcomic are transferring to her school. And at first they don't even know that she's like the creator, and they befriend each other, and this friendship brings her out of her shell. I don't know much more about it. I just heard so many good things. I try not to get too much into what people are saying about it because I don't want to be spoiled and I don't want to anticipate things too much. So if I know that the book has like this amazing plot twist, I'm pretty sure to be disappointed because I'm awaiting like this huge plot twist, and then it can never live up to the hype. It can never. So I just want to know if a book is hyped, and I'm probably gonna love it if I just know that it's hyped. So I don't want to know more. The next books on my TBR are catch up or finish that freaking book type of thing. I have a few books that I'm not DNFing because I truly enjoy them, but I just haven't finished them because other books came up. So one catching up that I need to do is this for the read along. As I said, I am way behind, and I am not even halfway through this one, and I wanted to read them last month. I didn't get to them, and I need to make up for it now. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I flew through this bit. The issue is it wasn't on my new TBR. It was actually on my TBR the month before. And then I was at this point when August 1st hit, and I needed to get to my notes. So I stopped reading, and I hate it. I need to finish these, and I know that I can finish them quickly. Even though they are monsters, I can finish them quickly because I started flying through the writing style and everything. So this is a quickie. The same reasoning is for Strange the Dreamer. I had it on my TBR in July. I really wanted to get through, and I enjoyed every single page of it. I loved it so much so far. We're following this guy who is like obsessed with this city where everybody seems to have forgotten that it exists, and due to some circumstances he finds it again, and like he's being brought to it actually. And this is just, it's a fantastical world that is just so different to what I've been reading like ever. And the wording, it's just, I love how Laini Taylor is constructing sentences. It's just so lyrical and so beautiful in a way that it's still very very approachable and very readable. I don't feel like I'm reading a poem. I don't feel like I have to reread it because it's so beautiful, but I didn't know what was going on. I can read it rather quickly, and still it's just so lyrical and beautiful, and I enjoyed it so much, and I just stopped because Nudes were starting and I couldn't finish it before like the readathon started, and I'm like halfway through and I need to finish it, like I need to finish it now. And then I have 2 books on my TBR this month that I really need to finish. They are roughly between 100 and 150 pages left. So I should be able to finish them up quickly. These are 2 books that I enjoyed and that are one more than the other, and that just became victim to other books coming up. The first one is Because You Love to Hate Me. It's a collection of short stories where booktubers send writing prompts to some YA authors, and we have these stories in here, and we have some stories written by these booktubers as well. Basically, we have like backstories or stories around our like favorite villains, and it's just so much fun. I don't enjoy every story, but I enjoyed a lot of them, and I just need to finish this. It's like 150 pages left, and I have been enjoying it so much. And actually the next one that I have to read is one by Victoria Schwab, and I just get done. The other one I didn't enjoy as much. It's The Most Dangerous Place on Earth, and I stopped reading it actually because I lost the book. I left it accidentally in my hotel room on a business trip, so I stopped reading it, and then it was offered on Kindle for I think 99 cents or something. I said, okay, I just want to finish it. It was really a little bit tough for me to get into, but I just want to finish it up because I didn't hate it and I want to know where it's going. So I do want to give it another try for like another 50 pages, and if I don't enjoy it by then, I'm gonna DNF it. It's basically playing in this high school setting, and we're following like the first part is like 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade or something. I don't know even what grades. So it's so long, I might have to start reading it all over. I don't know. But we're following like all like different main characters with each school year, and I had trouble getting into it because as soon as I understood the world and the setting and the characters, switched like to the next chapter where we were like in the next grade with new people, and this just made it really tough for me to get into it. But I've read some recommendations and I've read some feedback that really intrigued me, so I do want to finish this up. The last book that I want to get to is Select. I want to get to it because I have a NetGalley arc for the second book, which I will have to read next month, so I want to read the first book this month. And the synopsis really intrigued me a lot. It sounds like a book that's right up my alley, and I have a hard time summarizing it, so I'm just gonna read to you the synopsis. Coming from a race of highly evolved humans, Julia Jaynes has the perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect destiny, but there's something rotten beneath the surface. Dangerous secrets her father is keeping, abilities she was never meant to have, and an elite society of people determined to keep their talents hidden, and who care nothing for the rest of humanity. So when Julia accidentally disrupts the Jaynes' delicate anonymity, she's banished to the one place meant to make her feel inferior: public high school. Did I say I'm a sucker for high school and school settings? Julia's goal is to lay low and blend in, and then she meets him, John Ford, tennis prodigy, all-around good guy. When Julia discovers a knack for reading his mind and also manipulating his life, school suddenly becomes a temporary escape from the cold grip of her manipulative father. But as Julia's powers over John grow, so do her feelings. For the first time in her life, Julia begins to develop a sense of self, to question her restrictive upbringing and her family prejudices. She must decide, can a perfect love be worth more than a perfect life? So I found this so intriguing. This has it's ticking so many boxes that I enjoy a lot, and it can go either way. If it's getting too romancy and not like, if this is too much in the focus, I'm gonna hate it, but there's potential that I'm gonna love it. And yeah, I'm all for it. So this is my complete TBR. 18 books in total. Never gonna happen, but I'm gonna try. The total pages that I want to read is 7,184. Yeah. Which comes down to 239 pages a day. And I don't have time off work. I have to work. So Alright, this is it for today. Let me know how you like the new setting for this type of book. Is this too standard because everybody does it? Or do you like a change of scenery when I'm doing my unboxings between my TBRs and wrap-ups? And before you leave, make sure to check out my monthly giveaway because I, as always, have awesome prizes up there and you should definitely check that out today. I hope to see you again on my channel really soon. Until then, bye!